Hi everybody, thank you for tuning into another video on TK's Tech Corner. Today we're going to be taking a look at another game controller by a company called EasySMX. This here is the X15 Wireless Controller. Operates in 3 modes, I'll go through them in a minute. If you are following the channel or you have been watching my other videos, no doubt you would have seen some other awesome controllers I've reviewed from EasySMX. One of the last ones I did was the X10, an absolutely brilliant controller. This one here, X15, a new one, slightly different twist on this one. I'll go through all the features in a minute. This has just come through and I think it's just come out recently. This supports a few different, well, quite a lot of different platforms. So it's going to support iOS, Android, PC, the Switch here as well. So we'll go ahead and test them out as I normally do. I'll try and test everything I possibly can in this video. We'll look at all the other features. We're talking about Hall effect joysticks, which we're seeing on pretty much all the controllers, third-party ones at least these days. The mainline manufacturers need to get themselves in check. Adjustable vibration motor. So we've got 3 different stages of adjustability on the vibration here, I believe. Turbo function, Hall effect triggers again, and something else we're seeing on all of these brilliant controllers from third parties. Programmable paddles at the back as well, which is nice. So you've got 2 programmable buttons at the rear. And something that looks really cool on this controller is the RGB lighting. So we're starting to see RGB lighting trickle more and more into the mobile controllers and normal controllers as well now. Gamers like a bit of lighting and customization. I like it too. I think it's great for an extra little bit of a gimmicky feature, but it looks nice and it makes you feel really gamey. So that's the controller. In the box we've got the gamepad, Type-C cable, a user manual. I think there's also probably a little dongle here that's going to allow you to connect through 2.4 gigahertz mode. It does support 2.4G wireless, Bluetooth and wired modes as well for probably all of the support with platforms. So let's get this out of the box and see what it's all about. I've got a Steam Deck here. The Steam Deck acts as my PC for testing games. The controller's there. It comes in a nice clear plastic packaging in the box. Immediate impression on touch and feel is really nice. Whatever they've done here, it's just super smooth. It's got a really, really, really soft, smooth finish to it. And as soon as I took it out, it just felt nice. Right. While it's smooth on the front, it's got a lot of traction on the back. It's got a grippy finish to the back there. It's not rubberized or texturized, but the little dimples in the plastic there really do offer some nice grip. So I'm just going to put that aside for a second. As I said, yes, there is this looks like a little receiver, I think. There we go. It's got a lid on it. USB-A receiver. So this is your 2.4G receiver for your PC, etc. And then a C cable as well. So for charging and also for wired play, you're going to use that C cable. We've got some paperwork here, which I may or may not need to refer to during the video, just in case we need to try out some of the functions and functionality and features. So I'll just keep that close. I'll put it there, so out of the way. Going to get rid of the packaging very, very quickly. Right, that's out of the way. There's nothing else in the box. I'm really, really tempted to hit this button because I wanted to see this thing light up. I think there's going to be lights everywhere. We're expecting lights on the glide rings, the D-pad, and I think somewhere embedded in the actual face shear here as well. So it's going to, and on the sides, you can see there's some lighting going on there. That's just waiting to light up. This thing is going to be lit. Right, so let's just go through from a physical perspective. We're feeling an Xbox gamepad here. I've got one here. You can see they're very, very, if not identical in dimensions. The look and feel is very, very similar. Slight difference on the top where we've got a little gap here between the shoulder buttons. On top we don't have that here, but then we do have the housing for the Type-C connector, which is embedded a little bit further in, where this one is more flush to the surface. This feels a bit heavier with batteries in than this does. So it's definitely a bit on the lighter side. The D-pad is, for the first time I've seen this, I must miss other controllers with this feature as well. But a D-pad very similar to the one we're seeing on the Series X controllers now here, where the diagonals are joined, and you've got a full dish style D-pad, which I like because it holds and supports your finger, so thumb movement very, very well. The one thing I can comment on this one is this one feels even more convex. Now I like a convex D-pad. I like something that my thumb just sits completely into. And this one, my thumb is literally just sinking in there. Really, really nice D-pad on that. I do like it. It's got a very nice responsive feel as well. It's not stiff at all. And it feels like it gets through all the angles very, very nicely. So nice D-pad. There's a bit of a sharpness here to the edges here. I don't know how long it's going to fare over long periods of play, but immediate feedback on that for me is that, yes, as far as all things go, is a very, very nice D-pad. It's got a very nice, satisfying travel and movement and feedback in all directions. Analog sticks, nice analog stick, the glide pad here, so the glide rings feel very smooth. There's no resistance moving the sticks around here. Plastic shafts there, not metal shafts there, which shouldn't be a deal breaker really. The L3, R3, from a resistance perspective, they feel just about right. Yep, they're not noisy at all. Nice feedback and response and travel on them, and they're not too difficult to trigger even when you're playing at angles, so I can trigger them absolutely fine at all angles. One thing I will say about the sticks here is there is a smoothness to them. They don't have this dimple where your fingers rest in them, but they are convex. They're not sticking out concave, thankfully, so your fingers or thumbs do find themselves resting properly on them, though there's nothing to stop you from flying off like this one has. There is a grip on the sides which is very, very easy to miss, but it is there on the sides, rolling off from the top, so you're getting traction if you're pushing your sticks like so on the sides. Your thumbs aren't really going to be slipping around too much, so even the tops, though the tops or the caps of the sticks here do feel a lot smoother. I would probably prefer a tiny bit more grip on the tops, to be honest. They have got grips towards the top edges of the sticks, and then also on the sides, very grippy, so no issues there whatsoever. They're not super smooth. They are texturized, rubberized, so they have got some traction in them anyway. But I do notice just slight slippage from my thumbs here now when you get in all integrated, engrossed in those games, and you're getting hot and sweaty on your thumbs. I don't know how that's going to feel over time. I don't know if it's going to become a bit slippery. Just something to think about there. But other than that, they do feel very nice and responsive, nice travel, very, very smooth movement in all directions, and the clicking is perfect. ABXY buttons, same format as the Xbox buttons. They feel roughly the same size, slightly engraved lettering there. Now, I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, because when you're getting some fast movements in over the buttons, over long extended gameplay, I don't know if that's going to wear out your tips or not. But at least, yeah, it's there. You can see the numbering, you can see the lettering there, right? ABXY. It's got a nice clean look to it, at least anyway. The start and select buttons there, plus and minus, that's how they are labeled. They've got the same logos as the Xbox buttons this time, more like the Nintendo Switch buttons. It does support the Switch. The T button here at the bottom for turbo, and then another button here for no idea, we'll figure it out, or the manual will tell us what it's for anyway. The shoulder buttons, very, very nice response. I like the length of them. They are accessible from the full range of the button, and then I don't know if they're micro switches or not, but they do feel very nice. The face buttons, definitely conductive D-pad buttons here, not a bad thing at all. They're just not micro switches. They do feel very nice. These ones have got a very nice light clicky sound to them, very, very, very satisfying actually from a feedback perspective. They're not as noisy as the original Xbox controller. They are feeling just as responsive just by pressing them anyway, and they do wrap around a good amount over the corners of the pad, so they're accessible from here. Right, the analog triggers, so we've got Hall effect analog triggers as well. Very, very nice, satisfying movement to them. Now, if I hold these both to the side, what you'll see is the profile on them side on is pretty much identical. I'm pretty sure if I held that up and you had a glimpse at them, you wouldn't immediately guess which one is the Xbox controller, other than the skin on the face, and then also the screw holes here, which you don't see on the Xbox controllers because it's put together slightly differently. So you can see the screw holes there. Moving over to the top, so we've had a look at the top already. We've got the C port there, the analog sticks. They have got a very, very nice grip on these ones as well. So they've got little dimples in the plastic mold, so that's going to give you some traction, and they're curved nicely enough, exactly like this one here, so that your fingers aren't going anywhere whilst you're engrossed in your gaming sessions. On the back here, we've got an on-off switch. Now, I don't know if that's to turn the controller on or off, or if that's to turn the RGB lighting on and off. I'm guessing this EasySMX logoed button at the top here, which looks like it's got a light embedded in it, is going to be the one that's going to turn this thing on and off when we press it. This on and off button may be for the RGB lighting, and there's another button here on the back. I'm going to guess that's going to be to cycle through the lighting modes, though without reading the instructions fully we won't know. And on that note, I think I should get this thing turned on really, because that's what we're here for, right? So what shall we try it on first? It's always easy to try these things on my Android tablet here. So what I'll do is I'll just get my tablet. There's my tablet. Right, so there's some lights here that I missed. You can see those very nicely. Like exactly like a Nintendo Switch controller there, like the Pro controller would in the back here, or on the Joy-Con, where the lights are flicking up and down, waiting to connect to something. So maybe if I get this into Bluetooth mode, I can search for something here. Let's see if it finds something. Now I may have to press something. I might actually have to get the manual out to see what the button is to get into pairing mode. I don't think it's going into pairing mode itself. No. So it's not come up itself. I may just have to flick to the manual just to figure out if. Oh, mind you, the button on the back. I'm going to turn the light on first because, oh, look at that. Look at that. There's lights everywhere. It's, as I said, this is really, really smooth, right? It's got lights in here. It's got lights on the sides, the rings, the D-pad. I'm going to press this button and see what happens. Right, so when it's on, you can see it's flicking away nicely. The lights do look very, very nice. You can see there's some transitions going on there through the lighting. When I'm pressing this button, I'm not getting into a pairing mode, so I'm going to have to just flick through. I should hit refresh on my tablet as well. Aha, EasySMX X15. So that button at the back looks like I did it. Once I'm there, I'll just go to the menu, just see what the buttons are. Make sure I know what I'm pressing and why. Right, with the control pad, okay. Okay, so there's different button combinations. So this is the programming button. The button at the back is to program the macro keys. And then, as we guessed, turn on and off the RGB lighting with a slider switch on the back. And then we've got the screenshot button. That's the screenshot button there, that one. I should have guessed that because it's got a little circle on it like the Nintendo Switch has. And it's saying it can't communicate. So let's just try that once more. Hopefully I'm going to get it paired. Otherwise I'm going to go to the manual to see why I can't get it paired. Right, switch mode, Android device, connect with the Android device. Right, I have to press the A button. Right, okay, I've got it in the right mode because these things support so many platforms. You've got to make sure it's in the right mode. So that's fine. I'm going to let this thing go off. Maybe if I press the EasySMX button long enough, this is going to go off. It has. Press the A button, A for Android maybe, and the home button. And it should go into a pairing mode. Now it is, you can see those two lights are flashing in the middle themselves. So now if I press EasySMX, I might have to search again, but let's see if it finds it. I'm going to hit refresh again. Right, okay. So I'm going to try again. I'm really faffing with this, aren't I? Right, we've got it into a pairing mode. Now I think my tablet's going to time out trying to connect to whatever it was connecting to, and then that will turn off again. And eventually we'll get there. If I could just get this thing paired, we could play a game. Not asking too much. Right, okay. For whatever reason, it's not connecting. Maybe I should pull out another device, but I might also just not bother. I'm going to try once more. A button. And this, it does say LEDs 2 and 3 should start flashing. Right, they're flashing as you can see there. I'm just going to hit refresh on here. It has found it. It's pairing. Well, it's found 2 of them now, because one of them's for, there we go, right. Allow access. Yes, do your thing. So I'm just going to put that down to user error. When it paired, we had a little vibration feedback there. And everything is now going to work as expected. Yes, it is, as you can see. So let's go into dead cells. Let's give it a little whirl. Take it for a little spin. And then we'll move on to testing it on the Nintendo Switch. We'll also test it on the Steam Deck as well. So one thing to note on this for Switch compatibility, I don't believe this has gyro motion control. It's not advertised as having gyro control. That's one thing to note. If you're interested in that feature for Nintendo Switch specifically, then you ain't going to find it in here. How cool does that lighting look? This thing is just lit up everywhere. Look at it. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to have to think about how I do the thumbnail for this carefully. I want to capture that somehow. Right, to continue. This is going to feel great, no doubt. It's going to feel great. EasySMX controllers, really, really good quality controllers, both the mobile ones and the standard ones, in my experience so far. They get the job done well. This thing's got a 1000 milliamp hour battery as well, so it's going to give you a good battery life whilst you're playing connected in a wireless mode. And as expected, that feels really, really nice and responsive. All the buttons are responsive. If you weren't looking at it, you would probably just forget you're holding a third-party controller. You'd probably think you're actually using an Xbox controller. How cool is this game? Dead Cells, if you haven't played it, play it. Oh, well, I won't get too carried away with this because it's very easy to get carried away Dead Cells, but you get the idea. It's working absolutely fine. Lighting is working nice. You can see the lighting going crazy there. Looks very, very cool. There is a way of configuring the lighting mode, so we should probably find out how to do that, because that's one of the main features of this controller here that we haven't seen on any of the other controllers like this that I've reviewed recently, is the RGB lighting. So yeah, so let's get at this. This works absolutely fine, as you can see. Great controller. Put that aside. And let's before I do that, I just want to flick through the lighting modes, because I think it's important to see what all the different lighting modes are like, just because it's such a cool feature here. So hopefully we're going to see something around lighting settings. Right, so light mode switching. Press the minus button and the D-pad up and down to adjust the lighting to colorful mode. So minus button and the D-pad up and down, as you can see there now. That's going through the different color modes. It really looks so cool. Okay, so you can see that there. Sorry, what I was doing before was just pressing up constantly. So that's color. That's white lighting. And then, so okay, so that's just up and down, right? That's to get into the mad color RGB color shift thing going on mode. If I hold down, it's just white or ice blue. It looks very, very icy. I don't think that's changing colors. That's just staying constant. And it's not doing anything specifically different when I'm pressing buttons either. The other lighting mode is, so there's a color adjustment mode. So I can hold the minus button and left and right. So as you can see that now, we can change different constant colors. That's really, really cool as well. So you can cycle through different colors. And then what else have we got? If I hold the plus button, right, okay. I think it does something, or it's supposed to do something. Right, okay, I think I've done them all. So left and right to change the colors. Yep. And then up and down to change it to a steady color or mad color, as you can see there. So that's the different color options. It's got quite a few different modes there. Very, very nice. I like it. Macro buttons on the back. We didn't try it on the Android, but we'll test them out anyway. The way the macro programming works on this is, I think we're going to press the macro button and then another button simultaneously probably. So let's just quickly try it out. I'm going to press the button at the back here. Right, macro programming button. And then I'm going to press one of the M buttons. What does it say? It's worth trying this out properly, right? ABXY key swap setting while I'm here. That's important for the Nintendo Switch, because if you're playing on Nintendo Switch, the buttons are mapped differently to Xbox, PC, etc. So click the programming button, control it, enter program mode, and then LED 2 and 3 should light up. Right, I'm trying to find the button. Maybe they don't work on Android mode. It does. It does. Yeah, okay, cool, it does. So I've just programmed that to A button. So I'm holding the macro button. And then I'm pressing the macro button. It's not easy to find though. Press the macro button and then one of the M buttons. Right, and then you press one of the other buttons and then you programmed it. And I can see it working on the tablet, so it's absolutely fine. And the motor vibration, so we can hold down the turbo button and the left stick to increase or decrease the vibration sensitivity. That feels like it's going through a mode, and you can see the different modes there as well, indicated by the LED cluster there as well. Right, let's try it out on, get rid of the manual, let's get rid of that, let's get out the Steam Deck. This has got a bit of dust on it for you know why, it hasn't been used for a bit. And let's connect through, let's try wired mode. So I've got the C cable here. I don't know why we're going to try wired mode, but let's just try wired mode. Why not? Try out everything, right? That's what this channel's for. Try making the long videos that you need a cup of tea to watch. Wired mode, right? I've probably got to get the manual back and get into a PC wired mode as well. Again, what do we need to do? Wired PC connection, right? Ah, it's gone in itself. Look, it's detected. You see that? Didn't do anything. It's working. Working absolutely fine. Wired mode. We'll try out this little thing here as well. It's detecting the official, well, it's detecting the Xbox controller, as you can see there. What is this? Street Fighter 5 we just fired up, I think. Give it a quick run, see what's going on. and then we'll plug in this little dongle here into that C to A converter, and we'll try that out as well. The wireless PC mode, cool. Let's kick around a little bit and we'll turn this off. We've seen it's working anyway, as we can see. Come on, Steam Deck. Oh, haptics are getting crazy because the cable was on there. Just hammering the A button, trying to get stuff started quickly here. Just see how it feels. It'd be interesting to test out the D-pad here, because I generally play Street Fighter with a D-pad, or now my arcade stick. Let's test this out. So we've got the buttons here. Just to show you how accurate that D-pad is, can you just see how accurate that thing is? Right, we had a little frenzy of fireballs there, and backwards as well, doing the hurricane kick there. Very, very. We can show you can there as well. You can just see how accurate this thing is. It's a very, very accurate D-pad, I have to say. It's one of the nicest I've felt on the third-party controller so far. Absolutely love the feeling of that D-pad. It's got the right amount of travel. It really, really is just wow. It's smooth, it's fast, it's responsive. My thumb is not going anywhere other than where it needs to. I'm able to execute moves and combos exactly as I want. All the buttons feel responsive actually. Even the triggers, very, very nice. And we're getting zero latency with a wide connection there, as you can see as well. Let's try this in another mode. So let's quickly get through this. I want to just, okay, we'll leave that there for a second. Let's get this into its wireless mode. I might need to do some reading again. You'd think you'd have to read so much. Right, when you plug that in, you can see the dongle is flashing away there. It's waiting for a connection. So to get this connected, I'm just going to hold the EasySMX button. Hopefully you turn the pad off. It's gone off. With the control pad off, click the home button on the control. Right, okay. Right, so that's gone over to my switch again. So I'm just going to make sure I'm doing this properly. Right, now because I've paired this to the Android, no idea what it's doing now. Right, there we go. We're on. Now we're on 2.4 gig wireless mode. So let's give that a go as well, see how that works. Don't expect much latency. I'm definitely not far from the receiver either, so that's going to help. Favorite feature, D-pad and lighting. X15, great controller. We'll verify there's no motion control in a minute on the Nintendo Switch, but before we do, It's a ridiculously accurate D-pad. Whatever they've done here, it really is just that is awesome. Really nice. I like it. Right, so that's that. We've seen the wireless mode work as well. What I'll do is I'm going to unplug that. I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to do anything else with that. And hopefully that thing is going to go quiet in a minute. We're going to get out the Nintendo Switch. So let's get the Joy-Cons off for a second. Right. Let's get this thing turned on. And let's try something. So we're going to try it in this wireless mode. See if that works. That's going to be quite cool. If it does. I don't know if it is going to or not. And it does. Look at that. So you should just be able to plug this dongle straight into your dock and leave it there, right? And then you can use this controller. No messing around. Let's see what it shows in the controller section. It shows it detected as a Pro controller, which is there. It is showing battery life as charging though, because it's detecting that connection there, I suppose. So it does look like it works absolutely fine. Let's go into Zelda quickly. It is working in this 2.4 GHz mode. Impressive. Very good. So you can see that's working absolutely fine. If I quickly go into this mode, there is definitely no motion control, but they don't advertise that either, so nothing to be upset about. If you're making sure you know what you're buying, or you're watching this video, you definitely will know what you're buying, because I'm showing you every detail about this controller. Then you can see that is the one thing that you need to be wary of. Again, I'm not going to call it a shortfall. It's by design for some good reason, no doubt. There's also another awesome controller by EasySMX called the X10, the X10 Pro, which does support motion controls and loads of other features, minus RGB lighting. So you can also go and have a look at that in my videos. You'll find the video of that there as well. So it's working absolutely fine. No issues whatsoever. We can try it in probably Bluetooth mode as well if you really wanted to. But I think there'll be no value in testing that out, because you know it's going to work. Wired connection is going to work. If that's working, I'll be able to plug this in directly through here as well. And that is probably going to work absolutely fine. Just plug it in and just see what happens, just because it's nice and easy to do so. I might have a quick read of the pairing guide. One thing you've got to be wary of is if you're using your own C cable, that is quite a generous sized hole and opening there for the C port. But if you are using your own, then you can't use something super chunky, because you might have a problem. So wired mode, I've plugged it in, and as you can see, it's working straight away. Nice thing is, while it's wired, where you're showing the battery life there, is it's going to charge up while you're playing as well, right? So no issues there either, which is nice. So yep, if you want to run it in a wired mode, if you're super concerned about any latency for any reason, just plug it in, play straight through the wired connection there. And then the last thing is, it's just worth checking if it's easy enough to do. Connecting PC and switch mode. Oh, right, okay. I don't know what the actual switch mode is then, but in any case, it doesn't really matter, because connecting switch. Right, on the switch, main interface, controller, home button for 3 seconds, and indicator refresh quickly. Enter pairing mode. Right, okay. I'm guessing if I just unplug this, it's paired now already. It is, yep. And this is working in wireless mode now, because it's already paired with the switch. And as you'll see there, it's going to come up. It's going to show it as a Pro controller again. You can see right there, it's showing the battery life as well. And this time it's not showing it's charging, because it's not charging. And the controller is still working absolutely fine. And you'll want to swap the buttons around, because at the moment the button mapping is messed up. So let's try that as a last thing, ABXY key swap settings. So simultaneously press B and the minus key for 3 seconds. So B and minus. Right, I don't know what's happened there. Nope, nothing yet. Oh, B plus minus plus. The plus key, okay. So B and those two. Yep, and they're switched around now. So we're in. Now we are in full switch mode. If you want to switch them back again, it's probably going to be the same thing. So B and that plus minus key. I didn't need to press it for 3 seconds actually, because as soon as I did that, yeah, as soon as I did it, the controller vibrates and it just switches mode straight away. So, and you can see we're back in switch mode again now. Not difficult to switch over at any point. You can see the macro buttons are working there as well. I'm pressing the macro buttons on the back. They're in a good position. They've got a nice size to them. And while I've been playing, I didn't do any accidental presses of them whatsoever. Even when I was playing Street Fighter, right, messing around a little bit, there were no accidental presses of those back buttons. So they're in a really good place. They've got a really, really good response to pressing them as well, by the way. They're currently mapped to the left and right buttons, and you can just program them using that key there. So yeah, you can just program them using let's try it. So if I press that button, macro, and then I'll press that button there, and then the macro button again. There you can see, it's jumping now. So there you go. So I could probably program that to a few different keystrokes as well. So if I press the programming button and I press the macro button here, and then I'll do something like this. And then I press the macro button again. Now let's try that again. So it's recording. It's probably going to support, I don't know, a few seconds of recording keys or a certain number of key actions. But you can see that's going to be useful in games like this where you're doing key combinations to open up other menus, etc. And that is working absolutely fine. So on that note, I think I'll end the video. We've tested everything we possibly could. We've seen the awesome lighting on this controller because it's just amazing. It really is amazing. You can see that there, it's also turning the switch on in the home button. So it's going to wake it from sleep, which is nice as well. It's remaining paired to that last device. And on that note, we're going to end this video. It's gone on for a long time, but I really did want to spend time showing all the features I could of the controller. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you've got any questions on this controller, please ask them in the comment section below. There is a product link to this in the description below, so if you want to buy it, please knock yourselves out. Love the lighting. If you've enjoyed the video, please leave a thumbs up. And if you haven't already done so, please hit that subscribe button in the bottom right hand corner to support my channel. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.